Hey there, and welcome to the second episode of Let's Play Diablo 3 Monster Power 10 with Goel. I'm playing a Barbarian. And in the first episode, we went from level 1 to 3, pretty simple. Now difficulty's starting to ramp up a little bit. I really love Monster Power 10 simply because it allows me... I love playing, for example, like Halo on any game in the Halo series on Legendary. I think that's the greatest challenge, it's the most fun, so that's what I do. And Diablo 3, up until Monster Power was released, didn't really have that kind of challenge with a new character, which is what I love with RPGs, and now that they've added it, I've been enticed to go back and do Monster Power 10 playthroughs. So, this is the Barbarian playthrough, and yeah, I usually, when I'm exploring a map, I usually go kind of up and around, kind of like this, and figure out what the outside edge of the area is, and then work my way around in a circle. It's basically a giant spiral. This is a very, very efficient method. It'll work for any zone. New lore.
Dear reader, I am Abdalhazir, adventurer, scholar, and researcher. I share my knowledge of this incredible world and its creatures through my insightful missives, often at grave risk to myself. Why, I was recently in Kandura, where my tents were ransacked by vicious quill fiends. I was able to beat them up with a shoe, but a less bold man would have fared far worse.
That's a very good voice actor, I have to say. So, I'm very much a completionist when it comes to gaming, and so I have to explore everything. And this playthrough, I will be exploring everything, going after all the loot that I can find, all that jazz. So sometimes if you play here, there will be a small little dungeon there, and that house, I can't remember what it's called, some kind of cellar. But there's not in this particular case. So, alright. So, finished out this little area. And as you can see, I'm almost to level 4 already. I love Monster Power 10 for this exact reason.
I gain new strength.
And level 4. Let's see what we unlock here. New skill slots. Now we have the first slot by hitting number 1. And it's Ground Stomp. This is a great ability. Smash the ground and stun nearby enemies for 4 seconds. This is something I can use to just stop damage if it's incoming hard. It's also something that I can use if I need to get some distance and just use a potion or something like that. So, very useful, and this is what it looks like. Pretty cool. So, chasing after these Quill Fiends. Quill Fiends were in Diablo 2. There were a lot more of them in Diablo 2, though.
While exploring a cave,
Random journal.
of finding hidden treasure, I came upon a most grisly sight.
This doesn't appear in every playthrough.
Bodies. Unbelievably, as I was searching them for any items of value, they began to rise. I must tell them of this and New Tristram before it's too late.
And this would be the area that he found. So, there are achievements for finding all those journals, and it's an extremely interesting concept because it took me a number of playthroughs before I saw all of the journals and dungeons for just Act 1. I haven't found all of them for the other acts. I think that's pretty cool. Gives me incentive to keep playing. Starting new characters and all that jazz. Okay. Tristram Militia. Hey, it's a Wretched Mother, so we have to kill 3 of these. And I'm going to stun just to make it easier.
The task is done.
And there we go.
These unholy creatures can rest now.
And now there's 2 instances here. That's interesting. The Barbarian doesn't really have a self-heal. And that's one of the challenges with it. I mean, obviously healing potions, but there's nothing like, the monk later on gets abilities to regenerate health and stuff. Cave under the well.
I need fury.
The Barbarian doesn't really get that. It's more of just damage, and they also take 30% less damage than caster classes such as the Wizard or Witch Doctor. Okay. Low quality cloth pants. Okay, so I don't remember this being a particularly big area. And there's a lot of gold though. I have, I've only done playthroughs through normal and halfway through nightmare, but I've done a lot of smaller playthroughs and partway done quite a few Monster Power 10 playthroughs on my own. This is my first Let's Play playthrough with Monster Power 10, but I've been able to accumulate 300,000, but I know compared to people playing with level 60 characters and all that jazz, it's nothing, absolutely nothing. So I don't use the auction house for my characters. I'll sell stuff on the auction house, but I like it's more fun for me just finding stuff and using what it's in my character's game. Sarkoth, Hoarder of Treasure. Now this is a good time for the stun, because there are multiple enemies, although I didn't get as many as I'd hoped. So I may have to use a potion here. The principle of raids and basically all RPGs, take out the small guys first and then deal with the boss. And then
Health returns.
Quick shoes. That's probably something having to do with movement speed, which isn't as important as it'd be better for like a wizard or witch doctor again, but better sword. And the time is coming soon. It doesn't take long before it's just not worthwhile to pick up the white items. There's a certain point at which I just don't do it. And I especially won't do it for a Let's Play because it just gets boring after a while. Because then you have to sell loot more often and all that jazz. So,
Old
okay.
Tristram, Diablo himself once walked this place.
Now, kaboom. Now here we go. Wretched Queen, and because I have a good sword, I've done this before when I didn't have quite a good weapon, and so this is unusually easy. But I'll take it. It's the hardest difficulty available for a new character, and it's actually it's quite challenging. It requires you to actually not just mind-numbingly click on everything. So I appreciate that. Okay, so now I'm just going to explore everything. Yeah, cleave is just, it's, especially early on, it's just better than bash. Because, it doesn't do as much single target damage, but it definitely is more useful. You'll end up killing enemy packs a lot faster, and this game is chock full of them. Chock full of enemy packs. Oh, gross. Mice. Well, but probably rats, really. Flies on that guy. Okay, almost got it all. Oh, there's a little dungeon here. What is this? Dark Cellar. I don't remember this one. These walking corpses, when you kill them, they usually drop like a smaller, crawling torso. It's lovely. Kind of annoying too, because usually you forget. Well, there's probably a percentage chance for them to do that, but you forget and then they walk away. Or not you walk away. They you have to walk away to avoid getting hit that first time. It's almost impossible to not do that. Okay, so we unlocked a new active skill called Rend, and Rend wounds nearby enemies and causes them to bleed for 5 seconds. I'm not going to use it yet. And the reason is because I really like this setup, and I don't really... I'd rather be able to have the crowd control as opposed to having to be able to do more damage. The crowd control in Monster Power 10 is more important. So you can use fast travel to travel back to New Tristram. And this is going to conclude this episode. I'm keeping these short to make uploading easier. thanks for watching. Check out my YouTube channel. I have a Twitch channel. I'd love if you followed me there. And I have a website, gaming.zach-james.com. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.